Hi friends, host Eric here, host of Talking with Famous People, and I'm making this video, or in accordance with this schedule, or agenda, I guess you'd say. So, first I'm going to talk about the frame, then I'm going to talk about Eric Thor's DSP video, then I'm going to talk about Kurtis, then I'm going to talk about Walking Thin Lines, I'm going to talk a little bit about Love Lou, a little bit about Amber and Anthony, I'm going to talk about my new song for a second, I'm going to talk about project and pacing and my life clock. And this is the frame. The frame is, I have this need sometimes to just make videos the way I used to make them more, which is talk things out for more or less my own purposes and try to hopefully be entertaining enough that people want to watch some of it or something. And it's something I basically stopped doing entirely. I have an archive channel which I could upload it to in theory, but I'm going to probably upload it to the main channel because it seems like I have a different relationship with videos depending on where I upload them. You know, it's just complicated. But regardless, the point is, this is going to be a somewhat self-indulgent video in the sense that it's not one of the things that I make that does really better than other things. But I'm not just outcomes oriented on quite so precise a metric. So, let's talk about Thor's DSP video. So I watched Thor's video last night, who talks about DSP and how great objective typing is, and I want to play one section of that video actually, now that I think about it, and I want to talk about their understanding of objectivity and subjectivity. Okay, so the thing about this is, in much of the video, what he's basically doing is saying how great Dave and Shannon are, okay? So, it makes me shake my head plenty, but let's take a look at the part I want particularly to look at. This.
The difference between...
So, Thor cites this as an example of a good definition. What does that say?
Brian's top bombs. Brian's friends.
You get to see wonderful pictures like this if you join the TWFP Facebook group. Brian's not bombs. Anyway. So, well, let's just listen to Thor describe it for a little bit.
Or objective typology. And I think this chart sums up pretty well the difference between a lot of the MBTI practitioners out there and the aim of Neo-Jungian typology and of objective personality. First things first, often the baseline of the person who practices subjective typology is they tend to view personality psychology as a shortcut to quick type.
Okay, so he says baseline of a person who practices subjective typology. So he gets it right. These things are not describing objective or subjective in any meaningful sense of the word at all, okay? Let me explain what this table here is. Overly excited, obsessed. Feels questions, must be answered right away. Starts typing self and others right away. Gets confused and upset by contradictions. Demands that others explain it to them now. Views this as a shortcut that can be grabbed now. Won't let go of this objective mindset. Will burn themselves out and blame others. Okay. So what this chart should say instead of subjective and objective is Dave and Shannon's view of themselves, and over here on subjective it should say people Dave and Shannon don't like. These are not they're not descriptions of anything that is objective or subjective in any kind of ideational way. It's just talking about people. Now, if you're objective, that is to say, you're gonna get the right answer if you have the right attitude. Is basically what this is saying. That it's all about that. You have to have the right attitude. Well, what if I make a bunch of arguments, though, and lay out a case for a certain type, and you view me as being overly excited? That doesn't impact my case at all. Or what if you view me as too demanding that you explain something to me now? Maybe I'm asking you a question to try to parse apart your ideas, and you're unable to answer that question. Then I'm going to press on it, of course. I'm going to say, but you said blah, 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 and now you say blah, 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 and that seems to be a contradiction. Can you please reconcile that contradiction? Would that invalidate the objectivity of my question because I'm demanding that you explain it to me? No. Won't let go of the subjective mindset. You mean I start typing self and others right away? Yeah, I start typing people right away. Often, I do. I've already typed myself a long time ago, correctly. I don't get confused and upset. I do get confused and upset by contradictions. Why shouldn't I? Hold on a second. Are you tolerant of contradictions? Is that what you're trying to tell me? This is the most insane. What I cannot even conceive of publishing this chart. It is so insane. It has to be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. So that's what I think about your chart, Dave and Shannon. That's what I think about your video too, Eric Thor. You know what he says in this video? Listen to this shit.
So when I started making videos, I started out with, and perhaps one of the most important parts of my videos became that of subtypes. One of my most popular content became those that describe different personality subtypes and subvariations. This was very important because there are more than one way of being an INFJ, more than one way of being an ENTP, more than one way of being an ISFJ. Every personality type has multiple subtypes and subvariations within said personality type. So while they all share a similarity, a similar flow type, they are different in that they can develop differently. They can go into different work careers. They can methods of using the
thing I'm looking for here.
By Dave Superpowers, yes, a good day wherever you are. I hope you're having a great Saturday or Friday or whatever it is, wherever you are right now. Live stream. Oops. That's called echo when you forget to turn off the sound. So today I'm talking about objective typology, objective personality, the OP system, developed by Dave Superpowers. Yes, the OP system developed by a man with superpowers. I'm not making this up. So last year, Dave Superpowers, one of the best YouTubers when it comes to MBTI-related content from many years back, came back from long hiatus with a new system with 512 or more personality types. And he has been working on this for a really long time and put a lot of effort and work into developing these theories with a higher ambition, and the ambition to be scientific and objective in the study of personality. So when Dave came back, I was actually very, very happy because I felt, okay, finally there is somebody in this community that I can consider to be an equal in the
Okay, that makes sense, providing you're denigrating yourself in comparison to me. There is a concerted effort on the part of other substantial cognitive function YouTubers to ignore me and pretend I don't exist. Because why? Because there aren't 512 fucking subtypes, obviously. That's insane. Look, a cognitive function taxonomy makes sense because it's that. It's a taxonomy of cognitive functions. And while those things may themselves correlate with certain other likely manifestations, that doesn't mean there are subtypes. And to the extent that there are subtypes, I would say it's more a combination of Negrum and basic MBTI types. Now, granted, I'm not saying MBTI is the methodology by which we should understand cognitive functions, but I'm saying that basic stack, BB stack you could call it, is all that one needs and is the only way to correctly understand cognitive functions. To extend cognitive functions beyond what can be logically defended is to go into horoscope land. So I'm not going to do it.
Adding way more bullshit than needed.
It's adding way more bullshit than needed. Thank you, Kimberly. That's well put. You want to minimize the bullshit. You're going to get a little bit of it, necessarily, because we're not talking about something that can be falsified, or that is usually or ever falsified with the methodology that we have that could falsify it, potentially, which is brain scanning. So, since it's not falsified generally, and we don't have data to reference, and it's not a simple test to go have done, because you'd have to have your brain scanned for quite a while. It has to be like a portable brain scanner you walk around with, you know, to really be an accurate test. Okay, so I call bullshit, I call shenanigans. Eric Thor, Dave Superpowers, C.S. Joseph, I have called you guys out and called you guys out. I have thrown gauntlets at your faces and you ignore me. That is what I call terror. Look, you're wrong. Deal with it. I don't know what to tell you. I've scrapped my shit before and started over twice. Not plenty of times, twice. So I know it's not fun, it's frustrating. But when you're wrong, it's what you have to do. No, I'm not going to just let you guys fucking ignore me and pretend like I haven't already addressed your arguments. I pretend like I haven't already fucking answered them a million times. Pretend like my arguments aren't on the flow and you have no responsibility to address them. Nobody should take any of you people seriously until you address my fucking arguments. And that's it. Okay, next topic.
What the hell just happened?
I just made a proclamation. I threw down the gauntlet again. Kurtis. Kurtis has managed to successfully whip up a whipped cream storm of controversy. What is Kurtis? Is he an ISTJ? Is he an ENFJ? Blah, 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 blah. Kurtis, I don't know what you are. I will watch your video at some point here. Your ENFJ versus ISTJ's video. I don't know what you are, Kurtis. You're a mystery. You're a mystery wrapped inside of an ice cream sandwich. But you're interesting. You got me talking about you in a video. That's what mostly got me talking about you, is the fact that you successfully whipped up so much controversy. I don't care what type you are. Thin lines. So I walk a lot of thin lines in this project called YouTubing. And some of the thin lines relate to stuff like other YouTubers, like I just did right now. How do you do that correctly and carefully is a challenge, right? So there are lots of FE considerations in proclaiming yourself the correct one, and none of them are good. but you know, it's like, what am I going to do? Lie? No. So I have no choice but to come out on offense. And because I'm not going to come out on defense either. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to come out on defense. So if you're right, there's a simple rule in life. When you are right, always attack. Always, always, always. If you come out weak with a strong hand, you turn out to have a weak hand in the end. So you don't ever want to play defense when you're in the right. That's my general advice to the world. This is my ENFJ self manifesting and saying, this advice applies to everybody. And granted, if you are in the right and you're going to attack, make sure you have, it's already packed. My bags. I'm leaving for Palm Springs. Okay, so one of the thin lines I also walk is dealing with people's feelings and stuff. I got a little heat last night for the Amber Eric type policing of I Speak People. I get that I Speak People seems like a very nice guy. I'm sure he is a very nice guy. I have no problem with the guy. And I also understand that, first, remember this, you know, some INFP, I'm assuming it's an INFP, I forget what her name is. Anetta H. She basically said something along the lines of, because you're mean, I'm leaving.
You're a bully.
You're a bully or something. The interesting thing is, Amber and I made a video prior to that I didn't upload because I was concerned about the person who made the video and how it was probably too thin a line to walk. There was no way I could. It was just a really tricky video to pull off. It was exclusively out of concern for the individual that I didn't end up putting that video up. And, I mean, well, not exclusively. It's also because the FE how it's going to play. But, I mean, I don't want to be a bully. I take steps to not be a bully. I may come across sometimes as a bully. But remember a couple of things. I have to balance a lot of different factors in making these videos. I want them to be entertaining. I want them to be honest and representative of my natural reaction to things. And I also want them to play well so that other people see me as a nice guy and stuff like that. I also want to genuinely be ethical and concern myself with the well-being of the people who I'm critiquing and stuff. I don't want to hurt feelings. I don't want to. I know I will. There's going to be some hurt feelings out there. There's a lot of loadedness in saying that I'm a bully, though. Because to me, being a bully implies that I'm getting some gratification from bullying. That there's some, I don't know, insecurity in me that's being gratified by seeing somebody else suffer or something like that. There is not a bone of cruelty in my body. I am FI polar, okay? But I am not cruel in any sense of the word. And that doesn't mean I'm not insensitive sometimes. And maybe I should be more sensitive, or maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I have pretty strict, I mean, I attend to the matter a lot. I attend to ethical considerations a lot. I spend a lot of time thinking about it and processing things like that. So, you know, it's the story of the two people and the donkey, the kid and the old man and the donkey. And first, the old man's walking down the street, and then somebody comes up and says, "Why? How dare you walk by the donkey when this poor child has to walk?" And so the old man gets off and the child gets on the donkey. And somebody else comes along. "How dare you make that child walk when their old man? I mean, how dare you make that old man walk when a child's on the donkey?" So the old man gets back on the donkey. Then somebody says, "How dare you ride on that poor old donkey? That donkey's doesn't want to have to bear your weight." And so then they both walk alongside the donkey. And then somebody says, "How dare you make that poor donkey walk along so lame?" So then they pick up the donkey and carry it. So it's always possible to critique some element of something. Being something means not being something else. And nobody's going to be able to perfectly walk all of these lines so that everyone goes, "Ah, that's the perfect relationship between boy, man, and donkey."
You just can't please everybody.
Right. So, okay, now I'm going to talk about Lovelu and Nathan for a second. I really enjoyed making a video and sending it to them and then getting their response on it and stuff like that. They and I had some exchanges. They and we had some exchanges after after the video I made where I talked about Nathan's type. And I enjoyed that community experience a lot. So I find myself, I guess in this video, noting that the typological community is potentially divides into camps. Now, not everybody in either, depending on how many camps you think there might be. None of those people are necessarily going to affirm their membership in any given camp explicitly, and it doesn't quite work like that, but you definitely get the feeling that well, I like Love Blue and Nathan a lot. You know, I get along with them. So Anthony and Amber, I like Amber and Anthony a lot too. I really enjoy working with them. I have a history of happening upon situations like this where somebody comes along for a while and feels like making videos with me, and we do, and it's great. And I enjoy it a lot, and I appreciate their contributions. Thank you, Amber and Anthony, for that. They're both really fun to make videos with. Amber's loosening up a little bit, which is nice. Obviously, that's the thing, is this is true for NI DOMs and SI DOMs as well, is NI DOM comes in like that good right away, but like anybody else, there's a unavoidable benefit to doing things a bunch of times. Experience does get a person to gain a feel for the medium. And so, you know, they come in great, and they are both getting more comfortable and getting better as they keep doing it with me, so it's nice. Number 6 song, I'm really happy with the song I put out yesterday, and I was really pleased with the response, because it's odd how I thought I liked it at first, but I never really know until I see what the audience says. And then I listened to it this morning again. I was listening to it in comparison to Destruction of the Old Damn World, and I think it's actually a better song than that other one, which I was very fond of. I mean, I still am, but I feel very happy to have gotten that accomplished. When I get a song done that comes out good, and I'm happy with it, and people like it, that's like satiates me for a little while. Like, okay, whew, I got something done, which brings me into projects and pacing and stuff. And 7 and 8 can be combined. I have a limited life clock, you know. I'm 47. I'm going to be 48 pretty soon. I have a lot of work to do before I die. I've got a lot of things, a lot of projects I need to finish, a lot of ideas I need to see realized, a lot of accomplishment to accomplish, you know. It's like I wasted so many years doing regular things, and I mean, I guess it was unavoidable that I had to go through those experiences to get to where I could be a creator of the sort that I wanted to be, which I more or less am now. I get to do what I always wanted to do, and I get to play ENTP all day long, you know. So it's amazing, but it's also very frustrating having limited amount of time to spend on too many things and having too many important priorities to really attend to in the amount of time that I have. So I'm pushing hard right now with the channel, and I'm trying to make as much shit as I can, and I'm trying to make stuff better, and I'm trying to attend to all the multivariant realities of what it means to make media. It's a very complicated thing. It's not, you can't reduce it. It's what makes it an NI thing. Media truths are NI truths, and they're somewhat irreducible, but you can talk about the various factors in great detail infinitely and never really get any kind of algorithm to solve what makes something work or not, you know? So as far as my general life clock calendar goes, I figure I've got 15 years left of of peak time. This is my intellectual peak. I'm at it right now, and it might get a little bit more. I'm still getting better. Like, I'm getting better at music. I'm still getting better at typology. I'm still getting better at things. When I reach my peak, then what that means is I'm at the end, and then it starts going downhill. And I figure I got 15 years. If I'm lucky, 20. If I've got a young brain that stays resilient, mine at 20 years. And I got to become president still. And that's going to take a couple of years to become president, and then 4 years of serving. So I'm hoping that I can squeeze that in. And it'll probably be like Trump's 70. That's something I could do at 70. But I mean, the country really needs me in there now. But I guess I can wait till 2024. Regardless, so that's it for this video. I've gone through my list of things that I wanted to talk about. And the last thing I want to do before I go is play that song, the new song. And it is right here.
He came here with her, and what's the big problem that you can't endure? You seem so sure it's not appropriate blaming. You blame things on Scott, despite getting caught. He's got you reframing for him, straining for him, going to the gym, make yourself good enough again. You guys both have lots invested. That's not a reason to stay around. Through the years, you've both been tested. Time to move up, find higher ground. Oh, he came here with her, and what's the big problem that you can't endure? You seem so sure it's not appropriate blaming. You blame things on Scott, despite getting caught. He's got you reframing for him, straining for him, going to the gym, make yourself good enough again. Be done with him.
Yeah, I think that's a better song than Destruction of the Whole Damn World. If you have an opinion about that and want to say it in the comments, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching.